Hi everyone, and welcome to this beautiful episode of In the Mix. And today I have with me the gorgeous, the multi-hyphenated Nardean, everyone. We're just gonna have a little chit chat, talk about your music, talk about your journey, get to know you a bit more. So I have questions, so I'm just gonna let you get comfortable. Okay, so my first question for you is, can you just talk about your journey and how you, well, maybe not the journey just yet, but how you got started into music in general?
It's a really funny story because a lot of the times you hear people like, oh, my dad played music. I picked up the piano when I was 3. I didn't realize I could sing till I was 21 years old. I had like a really strict upbringing. Bless my family. I love them. But I had a really strict upbringing.
Me too, don't worry.
Yeah, until I was 21, I kind of thought music or like popular contemporary music was a sin in a way. And then at 21, I was like started singing little bits like in front of people, and they would be like, you could sing, and I was like, oh my god, cool. And then and then I had this big sort of 6 months of, it was like my whole life turned around. It was like a sort of spiritual awakening, sort of like, oh my god, I can do whatever I want with my life. Like I was at uni studying to be an English and drama teacher. And then within 6 months, I was like, wait, I want to be a rapper.
Oh no, it was.
And my mum was like, what?
Oh, so you told your mum. You were like, this is what I want to do now.
Yeah, I told my mum, and I just told her about music. And also I started dating a guy who was rapping as well.
Okay, so everything was just...
just went, and I was like, so I finished my teaching, my English degree to make my mum happy. News flash for everyone, you can't get any jobs with an English degree. And then from then on, I've always been the type of person that just goes, like, I just go for the thing when I really want it. And I've been at it for like almost 10 years now. Wow. Just really like, I'm gonna do this music thing, I'm gonna do this music thing, I'm gonna do this music thing.
So like at that moment when you were like, oh wow, I can sing, was that the moment where you were like, I want it to be a career? Or was it just kind of like, it's a passion, it's fun, I do it on the weekends?
It's funny, I have these memories of being like 13 or 14, and when I was like in my room by myself just doing whatever 13-year-olds do, I remember I would like sing and pretend. I specifically remember that there were like 80,000 people watching, but it was like the concept of it being a career was so far removed from what I thought was achievable or could be real. Like I was like, oh, I'm just playtime. It's just play, 100%. And then when I had the 6 months of realizing like, oh, I can live my life how I want. I don't have to, do all the things and get a job and get married and blah, blah, blah. From then on, I was like, yeah, I'm going to make it work. It's going to be a career. Yeah.
So in those early stages, like how did you navigate it? Whether like, did you have like a music hub? Like there was like a little scene, or was it just kind of me, myself and I, like in those first stages?
I've always been really lucky, in that I've always had people around. I'm not shy in terms of like asking questions. I've never been the kind of person that like worries about asking questions or looking stupid or anything. I'm always like, teach me everything. So yeah, I've always been lucky in that there's been a lot of people around me who've been really willing to help me, which is something that's now really important to me moving forward, like with all the knowledge I have to offer that to other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember like shout out Paisley, who's used to be Reese.
Shout out Reese.
shout out Reese, shout out Paisley. They started something called One Mic, and it was like the first time. So what happened, actually what made me decide I wanted to rap was like I saw a woman on stage. I went to one of Paisley's events. It's called One Mic. It was like a cypher. And this was all in Australia, by the way. Like there was not much happening in Australia. And I went, and again, it was like around that time I was 21. I'd like just started dating this rapper. We went to this show together, and I saw this woman rapping on stage for the first time, and I was like,
what is this feeling?
Literally like full body goosebumps top to bottom. I was like, that is what I have to do with my
yeah.
life. And then from then on, like Paisley helped a lot with like industry stuff. And then through Paisley, I met someone called Alpha Mama, who she became like a mentor, a really solid mentor in like, and not just musically. She taught me almost everything I know about music. Not just musically, but also like spiritually and just life
Like,
as
yeah.
well. You know, just growing. That
Yeah.
phase of your life can be so messy. So
100%.
Yeah.
When did you meet your mentor? Like, was that 21 when it was like
around maybe 22. No.
no?
Maybe. When did I release? So I released my first EP in 2017. So I would have met her maybe like 2016.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what?
So it was like 8 years ago.
So in that like era of first project, what was the first song that you wrote where it was like, oh, I actually have potential as a writer. Like I like, oh, I'm actually good at this. Like, what was the first song that was like, okay, I'm sick.
Yeah. It was this song called Nothing Matters. And it was at this point in my life, I was really curious in like stars and galaxies. I did this subject at uni where they taught it was like an astronomy class essentially, and
What's
like
the module in your?
it was like outside of my
okay,
degree, but at the uni I went to, you had to do like one subject, two subjects outside of your degree,
okay,
so that like broadens your knowledge, whatever.
yeah.
But I think it's a lit idea. It's really good. And yeah, I did this astronomy class. I was like, "Is this crazy? Like, what do you mean the universe is that big? Like, what do you mean like it's just hot balls of gas? Like," and then I couldn't help this feeling of like, what am I stressing about? Like, I'm so tiny, you know?
100%.
And yeah, so I wrote this song called Nothing Matters.
Because I'm tiny.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And there's like this one bit in the song, like the second verse, that, yeah, I was just like, oh yeah, like, I'm a good writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna now jump into more of your like more recent music.
Mhm.
So I was looking at your Spotify bio today, and like Loki, I think it's the most creative one that I've seen. Like, in my-
Okay.
like Loki, I was like, I'm taking pieces of this and putting it inside my own. Because when you're like insert accolades here,
Oh my goodness.
blah blah blah,
I keep forgetting to change
Like,
that.
it was just so like I'm not like the other girls about being like.
I keep forgetting to change that, my about me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm such a loser.
No, I think it's
funny.
no. I think when did you write that bio? Like when? What era? Was
Ages ago.
Oh, okay. So was that like more 2018, 20?
Yeah, maybe like 2019, 2020.
Oh,
like
thanks.
a while ago. Yeah.
Okay, so if you were gonna change it, what would you change about it?
I mean, I think it's funny. For reference, my bio is like, I write it in the first. Oh, I can't remember how I do it, but pretty much I just said like, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
But pretty much I just said fuck it, YOLO, and just like wrote whatever. Yeah. If I was to change it, I think if I was to change it now, I would just focus. Now I'm really focusing more on production.
Yeah.
I would put producer, singer, songwriter,
Yeah.
like in that order. So now I would include more of the production
Okay, cool.
side. Yeah.
I'm curious, like you're Australian, so I wanted to know that, like, in the hip hop scene, like, what were you more influenced by? Like, was it more the US scene, or was it more like the UK scene? Like, or was there an Australian like scene that you were kind of, or was it? What was the vibe?
So definitely, like, I grew up listening to 90s R&B, like that.
Yeah.
That Destiny's Child, like Dilemma, Justin Timberlake, just Timberland, anything the Neptunes produced. I grew up listening to that music, and a lot of Arabic music as well. And then when I started making my own music or started rapping, like, I mean, the first rapper I listened to and loved was Tupac. I remember the first time I heard Never Had a Friend Like Me, I was like, what is this? I was like young. I was like, I like hip hop. Yeah. And then after that, after that I started like expanding more, and there was I think like maybe Australian rap and UK rap happened at the same time in terms of like me listening to it. But then I started to just and there is so much dope Australian music that just doesn't get the airtime it deserves, which is why I left. Shout out Australia, but it's just so small.
It's more than Iggy Azalea, guys.
Yeah, so much more. We actually collectively
we don't
like Iggy Azalea, especially in the music scene. I mean, not to be a hater, like do your thing, girl.
No,
you know,
let's dig into it.
She said, "Give me the tea."
I'm excited.
There's this big debate in Australia about rapping in your Australian accent.
Ah, okay.
About like whether it's, whether if you put on an American accent,
Yeah.
is that fake?
Yeah.
Should you rap in your Australian accent?
Yeah.
It's that sort of, just that debate.
We kind of have that here as well.
Yeah, totally. But it's just about finding the pocket. Like I think the UK's done it really well, where like they found the pocket that sits really nicely with the UK accent. And Australia is very young, and a lot of the time musically it can be quite behind, and culturally as well. And I think that there's some amazing stuff coming out, but stuff that's not super translatable to a world audience yet. But I think we'll get there 100%.
Cool.
Can we play actually? Sorry.
If you have
Yeah.
play,
So the first Good Girl is the wait, is it? Is it too sexy?
No, we can do sexy. Let's do that. Let's go. Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom. It's the first song I produced.
Ooh.
And released for myself.
He said he'd be like home beside me. I told him I don't take it back. I've been trying in a water places. You like it both like me on a high seas. You could be the captain when we sail. Now we're open like a pill. Got you roped in like a thin line. Looking up at you with these big eyes. I'm for good and stay for the night. Wrap my legs around and keep it tight.
So the next song I want to talk about is The Remedy, because I listened to the album and I was like, okay, I understand the vision. From the intro track, I was already like, okay, so she's a writer. Like the pen is penning. And then when I saw like your thing is like, oh, words first, I was like, okay, I understand the vision. So like that title track, I wanted to ask, how did it influence the rest of the album for it to be the title track? Like, was it the first song you wrote of the album, or was it just kind of like, this is what makes the album?
It's actually so funny. The title track, The Remedy. So the EP is called The Remedy, but
then
there is a song, The Remedy. Yeah. So initially, I wrote that song came together in some parts. Like I had the first verse, and then I wrote one chorus at a camp with some people, and the second verse. But then I ended up changing the chorus, writing it with a friend of mine, Amalia. And so that song was there, and I think it was always called The Remedy, but the EP itself was called Stay True. And then my label, and Stay True because that means like just drive straight. Yeah. Which I didn't know until someone said to me, I'm like, stay true. And I was in the car with the band who played on the album, and I was like, guys, that's the title of the EP. And then, but then my label at the time, shout out Elephant Tracks. My label at the time, my A&Rs were like, they're like, we had a meeting, and they're like, we think The Remedy should be the lead single. And we think you should call the EP The Remedy. And I was like, damn.
Had the name,
cool,
guys.
Yeah. No, I was like, damn, as in like, I really felt that. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. And it also felt really good because I think a lot of the time, like there are songs, like Smoke in the Room, for example, on that record is much more like radio ready sort of thing. Yeah. But the fact that they chose The Remedy to be the lead single, I was like, you guys get it, like you're not trying to make me something else or whatever. Like this is me. This track is me, and you're putting that to the front, and I really appreciated that. Yeah.
I'll be able to hear some of.
You want to hear some of the Remedy?
And I've been told that I sound too smart. And I've been told I should be less serious. Cause all the women know the only time they're hearing us is when the pussy pop and when the titties out, the only time they're cheering us. The 4 biggest female rappers so far, it's Nicki, Cardi, Megan and Doja. I'm not saying they can't spit hard bars, I'm just saying we only like women when they're rapping about us. I'm just saying it's truth versus market. That's why we're turning into products, not artists. That's why the streets dripping blood. While you're stressing about whose drip is the hardest, get to show you care, acting heartless. I don't wanna be sexy, I'd rather be human. Yeah, but I wanna get the views, so what's the solution? Do I have to pimp my body for the distribution? Do I have to post up naked to feed the illusion? Convince myself I'm lucky for the freedom to choose it. It's logical, this booty, I may as well use it.
Oh, this song's gorgeous.
Thank
Like,
you.
I personally I love how it speaks about the landscape of kind of the female rap scene and how it's like still not there yet, and how like so much of the time people want to tell us it's there. Where it's like, you've got a sexy red, you've got gorilla, da 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 da, but it's like they're all low key the same font, and it's like we don't have nearly the same variety as men do in general. And like, I wanted to ask if you had any like personal stories of a time where you kind of deeped, oh, it's gonna take a while for people to get me just because I'm a girl.
Yeah, it's the whole experience, really. And I really try not to think about limitations and just like focus on, you know, what I can control. But at the same time, you also have to accept reality. And just what I found is that I have to be, especially now with production as well, I have to be 10 times better
100%.
than any man in the room
100%.
just to even be looked at, to even be considered. You know, it's like it's like no shade, but low key shade. I will hear the most mid beats, you know, and like just all these men like gassing each other. And I'm like it's like you just automatically get like shunned, or people just don't take you as seriously, or they assume that you can't, or or just hearing as well like, oh, this is dope for a girl. Sorry,
what does that mean? Come again?
Yeah. But yeah, so now that like I remember I really when I was an artist, I really wanted to be in the room with like the cool guys and to be validated and respected, you know. There was like always this part of me, and then now that I'm producing, it's so funny, like first of all, I couldn't care less anymore because I feel like I'm really doing what I'm meant to be doing. And then second of all, I'd be like in my own studio at my desk, like with my hoodie on, with like all the boys around, and I'm just like making beats, and I'm just like, oh, I got the thing I wanted. Yeah. When I stopped wanting it. It's so funny. Yeah. But here we are.
I love how being a producer and engineer is such a big part of your brand. Like, I just feel like we're not there. There's not a lot of female engineers, like, at all. No. And I wanted to ask, like, being in the studio, was it ever, like, an uncomfortable place for you being a girl? That, like, there's only guys there? Or that you kind of had this feeling of, oh, I needed to prove to people in the room? Was it ever, like, the studio itself made you uncomfortable? Or was it kind of always a safe space?
I've been so lucky with the people that I've worked with. Is, like, I've never had, like, okay, I'll take that back. In studios, like, I've never worked with like dickheads, you know? Thank God.
Touch wood.
But obviously, like, there does come, like, being a female artist, like, people kind of try. They'll be like, oh, come to the studio, come to a sesh. And like, you can just tell from the get-go when it's like, gonna be. Come to the studio, kiss emoji or whatever, you know? I'm good, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. My favorite way to like deal with things like that is like, it's so funny. Like, I'm just like, hey, bro.
Never mind.
Yeah. It works every time. You duff them up when you get there. You're like,
thanks for having me.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. I can't remember what the question was, but I think I answered it.
But yeah, you surrounded yourself with good people, so you don't really feel it.
I've fully surrounded myself with good people. And now, like, what I really want, so I've started this thing called Girls Club.
Yeah.
Where I'm making a space for women specifically women who are either producing already or who want to learn to produce.
Yeah.
So like come to the studio, hang out, make beats together, teach each other, and like just hang and be in a safe space and not have to worry about like, is my ass going to get touched tonight? Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, real.
It's so real.
Like literally real.
So real. Yeah.
So with your brand, I wanted to. So now, would you call yourself an artist?
Yeah. I'm creative. You know? I'm always making stuff. Definitely. And it's like inside me. I'm always thinking of things. And
But in terms of like industry perspective, if an A&R asked you, what are you? What would you say?
I would say I'm a producer songwriter. Yeah.
Why do you feel like it shifted?
Honest answer, being an artist is really tough. And I felt like for ages I was like really, really determined, and I had a lot to say, and I felt it in me to keep pushing and to keep making art and to release it and to do the photo shoots and the music videos and things. But now that I'm producing, I'm like, wait, this is so much better. I just love it more. It's like I get to do the fun part, which is making music, but then I don't have to worry about anything else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't have to
do all the extras.
I don't have to do all the extras.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's just make bangers together.
Yeah.
Y'all can handle it.
I'll do the marketing.
Yeah, you can do the marketing.
Yeah.
I love it. I really, really love it. And like, I'll still, in my sessions, like I'm still writing, you know, whoever's with me, I'll produce and write with them if they're open to it. So I'm still writing songs, you know?
When I looked at your first like EP artwork, and I feel like looking at your last one, the like evolution between like, first one is like Egypt, sand, desert. Like it's very much, this is me. And then the last one's a little bit more like sort of Egypt, sort of like, so like where was that like evolution? How did that come from? Is it kind of now like I'm Egyptian but it's not? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think at the start, I mean, if I was to do it again, I probably wouldn't have released music so quickly. But at the same time, I'm glad it happened the way it did. And, you know, I don't think I would take the music down or the old stuff. But yeah, I was still just experimenting, I guess. And I was like, I'm Egypt.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. What advice would you give to an up-and-coming female producer, engineer, writer, just a female creative looking to get her foot into the music industry? What advice would you give to her?
Writer, producer, artist? Anyone? Or just
No, let's actually say producer, engineer, writer. Producer,
engineer, writer. I would say like network is the network. Oh, got it.
No, don't worry.
I'm with you. Yeah, got it.
It landed after.
Exactly. I like that. I say network because you just have to write as many songs as possible and produce as many songs as possible. For me personally, I hate sitting in a room by myself and making beats and writing music. I way prefer to do it when people are in the room. I'll do it if I have to, but it's just so much more fun with people. So the more people you know, the more you can do sessions and work. But if you like working by yourself, awesome, go for it. But like just as many beats as you can. Ask for feedback from people whose opinion, only accept feedback from people whose music you like. You know, that's something that really made a difference to me. It's like, I'm not going to listen to advice from like a heavy metal guitarist. And one last thing, actually, one of the best pieces of advice I ever got when I first started producing, it was from someone called Jack Prest. He was mixing my last EP. And I was all like, I made this beat. And I was all like, I don't know about this. Or he's like, listen, if it sounds good, it is good. And I was like, like, it doesn't matter if you don't know about compression or you don't know about this thing or you're not sure if you've done it the right way. If it sounds good, it is good. Trust your ears.
Well, thank you so much for coming. It's been so great having you. And see you guys for another episode.
Thank you.